And we cut to it.
The always classy AirPod King, hailing from Portland, Oregon, Nicholas Stodd, has a new Pro model out. This feels weird. I'm already going for my knife. I feel like I always have something to say before I open the kendama. But not this time. You can't even see that in camera, can you? This is not my table. Oops. It'll be fine. We're good. Nick Stodd mod. So opening the package, you have the signature drawstring bag as well. Has some stickers. And that's it. So the kendama comes in this nice bubble wrapped bag. There we go. And on the bottom, you have extra string and a bearing bead. This thing looks fantastic. I actually didn't know, I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're talking about the design. We shouldn't talk about this yet, but I actually didn't know there was a natty tracking dot on the string hole. That's cool. That looks really nice. I had no idea that was there. Wow. Learn something new every day. So string length that it comes on is pretty short. 3-finger string, which kind of sucks. This one really pains me because it's a super cool purple string, and I'm gonna have to throw it away and just put a longer string on it. I don't get it. Why are you putting short strings on your kendamas? To save money? Like what? Make long f***ing strings. All right, so moving on past the stupidly short string, let's talk about the Ken first. Off the bat, the shape feels pretty good. It's a little bit like narrow, it seems, like thin. I don't know if it's just me, but the Serato looks small on it. Like lengthwise, compared to the Ken, it just looks a bit small. Like I feel like the Serato should go out like a few, I mean this sounds stupid, but a few more millimeters to make it look more balanced. But the Ken looks awesome. All the burn lines that were done on this look so good. Starting on the bottom and moving up, we have this Stodd logo, which is pretty sick on the very bottom of the Ken. Then moving up, you have these 3 double striped lines burned into the handle. And I think it looks super clean. I really like those stripes. That's really cool. Over in the big cup, you have this deer logo, which represents Portland, Oregon. This is kind of like their logo, I guess. I don't really know where it comes from. I should have probably looked that up. So on the base cup of the Ken, it's written out established 8/29/2014, which I believe is when Nicholas Stodd actually started playing kendama. Then on the top of the big cup, you have written out PDX and this cool water droplet design going around the whole Ken, which looks pretty sweet. Ken's super dope, but I really think the showpiece to this kendama is the tama. The design is so clean. These are all of Nick's favorite colors kind of put into one, totally designed by him, and I think it looks great. Starting with the bevel, it's nice wide, it's updated, it's a modernized bevel, which is really nice. And they also burned in the signature calipers too, which I love. I love that little touch that Grain Theory does. It looks so nice. Then you have this white patch around the bevel with this thin purple line surrounding that. And then the majority's covered in this beautiful like light seafoam green, teal, blue color. I have no idea what to call it. Yeah, so that's the majority of the tama, and then dividing all that blue is this thin white line going around the center of the tama. And at the very top of the tama, you have a natural tracking dot, which I think looks so good. It adds a nice pop. You have all these vibrant colors, and having that little dot of natural wood poke through looks really nice. Kendama is full maple, so that's Ken and the tama is coated in sticky clear paint. It's kind of like the standard in higher end kendamas, and I love it. It's great. It's a great pairing. Sticky clear I always like over satin. That's a personal preference, but I think sticky clear breaks in better and just looks better. Like I said earlier, the shape looked a bit funny to me. Like the Serato looked very small for the Ken. So let's compare it to our standard Sweets Prime Ken. And actually, before we compare the cup sizes, the Stodd Mod's Serato is actually shorter than the Sweets Prime, even though really the Stodd Mod's Ken is bigger. So I don't know, that seems kind of worrisome to me. I feel like the weights might be kind of off. And I don't know how it's gonna play, but only time will tell. I don't want to make a judgment now on it because I love the look of it and I really want it to play well. And honestly, every Grain Theory kendama I've played, it plays amazingly. So I don't want to say that this is not gonna play well, but just something you should know. It does look a little off to me. So moving on to the cups, let's do the small one first. Stodd Mod's definitely a bit bigger, but not by a lot. Big cup, almost the same. I think the Stodd definitely is a bit bigger, but not by much. And then base cup, Stodd is significantly bigger than the Prime, which is nice. even with this base cup hole drilled in, lunar balance doesn't seem that great, to be honest. Like I can already tell that the sword, or the main part of the ken, is gonna be heavier than the Serato, or the cups, which kind of sucks. Like I wish this was, I mean, that's not bad, but at least mine is definitely a bit base heavy, which kind of sucks. Shit. And maybe it's just my ken specifically. Maybe I got like really uneven weights, and it's just unfortunate that some kens come out like that. So with the smaller looking Serato, I'm a little worried about gunslingers. It's actually not bad. It's not too, it feels pretty good. Honestly, it feels a lot better than I thought it would. So that's nice. Overall, I really love the design of this kendama, and I love Nicholas Stodd as a player. I think he's got so much style, and his technical skills are absolutely insane. But I'm kind of bummed about the kendama, and not the looks. The looks are fantastic. The shape's a little weird to me, and it's not, I'm not saying this in a bad way. Well, kind of. Shit. I don't know how to put this. I really love Grain Theory. It's one of my favorite brands, but this is a little disappointing. Just a little bit. I don't know, and I want to play it. I'm gonna do something I haven't done in these reviews. I'm gonna play this a little bit, like probably for like 20 minutes, just to see how it is, and then come back. Because honestly, I don't want to say that right now. I don't think it's gonna play very well, and I don't want to leave the video off like that because it might not suck. It might be great, and but right now it's not looking great. So I actually am gonna I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna play with it for like 20 minutes, then sit down, and we're gonna go, and I'll tell you what I think about it. Yeah, that didn't work at all. But we're back, and I'm here to talk about the Stodd mod. If you didn't know what happened, or I didn't explain it in the video with text, I don't really know what I'm gonna do editing-wise with this yet. But basically, I paused the video recording, which I never do, to go and play it and then come back and give you my review, because this one's kind of a unique situation. Only problem is when I came back to talk about it more, the camera was out of focus. Yeah, always check your focus, kids. Always check your focus. That wouldn't have really been a huge issue though, because I could just come in the next day and re-record that part. The only problem was, the morning after I filmed that, I flew to New York for a week. So here we are 2 weeks later, and this is the first time I'm getting to actually re-film this and talk about it. But while I was in New York, and over the last 2 week span, I got to play with this a lot more and get a much better feel for it. The night before I flew to New York though, I ended up modifying it a bit. I drilled a bigger base cup hole to reduce more weight out of the ken. It's wider and deeper. I ended up sanding the middle part of the ken here down a bit so it's thinner, and that way the Serato sank down a bit further onto the ken. It kind of gives it a better sort of center of gravity for lunars. And now it's fantastic. But the way I received it, like taking it straight out of the box, not doing any of these modifications, it was disappointing. And honestly, I wouldn't have enjoyed playing it. Like the lunar balance was off. It just felt weird. The Serato was too high. It was just off. And you can look at this two ways. One, it's great because it only took me about 20 minutes to refine this and make this a really good kendama. But you shouldn't have to do that. And a lot of people don't have the tools to do that or want to do that. I've done these modifications before on other kendamas I own, but this is the first one that it felt like they needed to happen. This one just kind of missed the mark. And it's sad.